Thanks for tuning in to my brand new Minecraft series. After a long hiatus, I'm ready to jump into more blocky action with 101 new ideas. Thanks for rocking with me all year long and enjoy the series. I went ahead and did a few extra things off camera to optimize the space over here. That way, eventually, when we do more work over here, it's going to look a little bit better, and there's actual pathways to get from point A to point B. So over here, there's a wooden pathway going all the way down over to the dock area. I did a little editing over here to kind of terraform, make it a bit more uniform. As you can see over here, I also did that over here. It still looks kind of out of place over here, but this is everything the way it looks for right now. The boat is still there. The cobblestone goes all the way down here. Eventually, that's going to go probably all toward that way where the amusement park is going to be. And what I did off camera as well is I cleared out the area. That makes my voice sound different. No. I cleared out the area where the former farm was. So obviously the farm is over here. The bees are inside of there. So that whole area is actually all changed and it's all cleared out over here. This is an entirely blank slate for us to work with. And the thing that we're going to do in Minecraft to end off this season is to actually build a house. A home. And the way we're going to construct it is a little bit different than how you would normally construct a house. You'll know what I mean in a second. My name is Brian Saviano, aka BricksOBrian. So I know of a few things I want to include in the house in general in terms of a look. And again, we're only using materials here, not infested cobblestone, regular cobblestone. I'm only using materials that I know that I can have on me because that's how this will work. I'm not going to be using, all sorts of items that are just unattainable or anything like that. So I'll show you what I'm going to do first, if you can kind of piece together what this is right here. So this is going to be the area for the house and for the whole ranch area. I kind of want to make it a homestead sort of a deal, but I don't know how big this is actually going to be. But this is going to be my actual home, not that I have in real life, but in Minecraft. So I'm going to move the bed over here, and this is where I'm going to sleep. Instead of sleeping where I'm also working and doing other, stuff with the chest and whatnot. Yeah, no. I want to have a proper space for what I want to do. So the first thing I want to include with this house is to have a mantelpiece a place for the Ender Dragon head. I want to have that above the mantle in my home. So that's the first thing we're going to construct here. And I'm just going to start it right over here. I don't know how big the whole house is going to be, but we're going to start with this for right now. So I want this fireplace to be 3 wide, and I want it to be fairly high right here. So ideally, this is how it's going to be. This is all flint and steel used right here, and that's going to be the fireplace. So it's going to be a pretty, big fire overall. And we're going to also work with the cobblestone stairs. And again, it's just materials that I have had previously and that would otherwise be, findable if we actually took the time to do all that. So what I might do is place this right here. Nope, right over here. So I want to make this look like a pretty uniform fireplace here. So let's say this is over here. Yep, we do that. And then, boom. Actually, you know what? That looks pretty good right there. So this is the beginning aspect of it. And now we're going to make the fireplace. And I also wanted to make the fireplace able to go all the way up through the top. That way, if I wanted to come down the fireplace as if I were Santa Claus, I could. So that's what I'm going to do as well. Obviously, with a fireplace, you can't just walk into the fire. So you want to make sure you have a little bit of a guard there. We're going to have the iron bars on the front. That way you can secure yourself off. So Santa can still come through. Pop his way through all the way down here. So, if Santa, again, we're hypothetically coming through the top here, that's plenty of clearance for him. And it might actually get a little bit smaller, so it's only 1 block in height. So let's say we go over this way and just kind of condense things down a little bit here. So, I wanted to make a house for a very long time. I haven't actually done it because I just haven't, it hasn't really been a priority. But now that I've had all this time and I've done all these things in Minecraft, I figure making an actual home for myself would be a pretty good, you know, beginning point to a new chapter of whatever this may be. And you know what? It being in creative mode helps to just expedite everything. So I'm very excited to do this and see what else I want to include. I'm probably going to think of a lot of things as I go, as I typically do. So we'll see what happens here. I'm going to go with the... let's say I go with the oak wood right here, right? So the mantle is the area around the fireplace, okay? So it's like the wooden structure near there. So right here is technically... Uh-oh, that's not good. Right there is technically the mantle, though. So that's the mantle to the fireplace here. Fire spreading should not be on, and I'm surprised that actually caught on fire. That is very surprising, actually. Okay. So what if I wanted to have this... You know what? Let's try slabs instead. How about that? If I make the slabs a little bit higher, like 1 block higher, like that should be fine, right? I don't know why that would be an issue. But basically, the Ender Dragon head is going to be placed right over here. So I want to make sure this actually works. So obviously I'm going to get rid of that Ender Dragon head eventually, but we can actually not spawn it in through here. Wow, that's pretty interesting. All right, but you can go over here and select it using the middle mouse wheel there. So I'll go over here. Oh, that all burned off. Okay, so can't do that. But you can place it on a standard wall like that. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to discard this. Cool. And I'm going to destroy this, actually. There we go. Oh, it breaks into netherrack? That's kind of weird. Okay. So that's the idea, is that the Ender Dragon head would be way up there. It really does glitch into the wall, technically into the fireplace, but yeah, that's just kind of how it has to go. So yeah, pretend I'm Santa Claus. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, ho, boys and girls. So we'll make sure the fireplace is out next time Santa comes to town, but that's not for a couple more months, so that should be fine. And I messed up, because I can't actually spawn that back in. Oops. So I guess we're going to have to go get another Ender Dragon head eventually. Well, I know where it needs to go, so that's good. Now, let me see what else I want to do here. All right, so I'm gonna make this a bit less boxy over here. That should be plenty of clearance for that thing. I mean, I hope it is. And then let's say the wall begins right over here. We're going to go with... Okay, so I can either do what I did before, where I have, like, the outside wall, and then I also have what the inside wall is, be two different things. I don't know what I would make the inside wall, though. Does the stone brick actually matter? Is that big of a difference here? Let me just see here. Smooth stone, cobblestone, stone bricks. That's not a big difference between these two. Yeah, no, that's not really that much of a difference. And I mean, most of the houses that are around here that I would, you know, ideally want one day are all made out of wood anyways. Or brick, actually. Let me look at brick, because I haven't actually made brick at all this entire playthrough. So I should actually look into what brick is made of. It's made of clay and sand, I think. So I'm not going to use it, but that's something I probably should do, considering I am BricksOBrian, aka the person making this Minecraft house. In case that intro wasn't said before, it is said now. So there you go. I guess spruce wood would make the most sense, considering everything else around here is spruce wood. So if I had this be wall number 1 to the house, right? And we have each of the floors be the yay high right here, right? So let's say that's floor number 1, right? That's a pretty good height. Did that really burn off again? Wow. Okay. I guess we need to make this out of a different material then, because wood is definitely not going to cut it there. Kind of pun intended. Let's go with the stone, the smooth stone slab, which we have made before. Yeah, we'll go with that. Even though that shouldn't be the case, that's kind of weird. What if I had this come out one more? Let me see if that would actually solve the problem here. Because a lot of the time, you know, a fireplace isn't just one little block out like that. Or it isn't just, you know, the guard blocking it there. So let's say it even starts like right here. Or we could even have it be like this really cool inner thing. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It's got a cool little effect to it. All right, let's try this. Plop that right there. That right there. Ooh, that looks pretty sweet, right? Yeah, there we go. All right, and now we have the cobblestone way in the front here. And then the iron bars in front of that. That should do the trick, right? Yes, it does. Okay, cool. Now let's make sure that this will actually work. And that way with the floor... So floor number 1 would have to actually start right here. So this is basically what I had in mind for constructing this whole thing. It's going to be a little bit of a process of working our way backwards in a way. So we'll start over here. Okay, is that even? No, that is not even. Okay, but I like that the fireplace can be seen from the outside. It kind of jots out, which happens quite a few times in an area like around where I am. It's going to have to be a taller... Wow, this is going to be a big house, dude. That's going to be a really big house. Okay. So I may need to edit things a little bit more. We'll see how things go. But let's say that the mantle is right there. Is that going to burn? It still might burn. But we're going to put the slabs right here instead. And then the Ender Dragon head is going to go right there. I think that'd be a good spot for it. It'll still be contained within, you know, the inside of that area. Yeah, that should be good. And there we go. I think that looks good on the sides there. Do that. Look at that. Huh? Looking pretty nice. Pretty swell. Little sharp right there, but whatever. So you get the idea, right? There's going to be a big fancy chair right here eventually. And I'm realizing this is actually going to take probably a long time. But that's okay. So we'll go a little bit higher with this. You know, it's not going to be like a massive boxy mansion. But it's going to be a pretty lengthy process here. So bear with me here as we continue along with building the house. Now, the secret here, which I think I've shown before, you want to actually put a campfire inside of the chimney. And the reason that is because if you plop this like right down here, you know, obviously the fire down here emits smoke, and the smoke goes up, right? But because this is so high, it's not actually going to emit from this far. If you put a fireplace right in there, the light still emits from it, and it makes it look like, you know, the fire is going all the way up. So even though it's not actually happening, there it is. So before, again, Christmas time, we're going to have to take the campfire out there and make sure Santa doesn't burn his butt on the fireplace. So, what would be next? I feel like this is going to be not what I want to do, right? I don't want to have this not jot out here. And there's going to be like a backyard and all sorts of other stuff eventually too. I'm just trying to figure out where I want everything to be. Now I could make another, you know, floor right here and change up the floor from floor 1 to floor 2. So let's just make everything uniform here, okay? So that's a pretty good material here for this section. And again, you want to make it so it all makes sense logistically. Oh, also, another room I want to make, I'll tell you about that one right now while I got you here, right? I want to make a room that's dedicated to all the maps that we have and the mapping of the entire... Basically, the entire, not world, but like a 5x5 area is what I want to do. So I'll be sure to work on that once we get a little bit further out. So if the floor is this color right here, right? That's a pretty solid color. And then I don't know where the stairs are going to be, but we'll figure that as it goes along here. That is a massive fireplace, though. I didn't realize it was going to be that big. That's a beefy boy. Right there. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So, I feel like if I want to be ritzy and fancy, there's got to be books. But I don't know where I want the stairs to be. I don't know where the... So I know where the map area should be. I guess it should be over here. So I want to be able to be facing toward this way, and I can see all out this way, and the map is over this way. Basically, I also want a view over this way. So if I have all the maps located right here, I can kind of plan out where I am and the direction of everything and see everything from a distance here. So let's say I want to have this floor go all the way this way. And now this is a odd situation here, which is good because a 5x5 area for the map is going to be right, you know, perpendicular or straight across from. I think perpendicular is the right word. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to look that up right now, just so I don't mess you all up here. Perpendicular means at an angle of 90 degrees to a given line. That's the wrong word. Straight across from, that is not what perpendicular means. I'm misinforming all of you out there. My sincerest apologies. Basically, across the way. All right, not perpendicular. The window is going to be perpendicular from here. It's going to be a massive open window space, but it's not going to be perpendicular, and that window is going to be perpendicular to the wall full of maps. So that's the whole deal there. I kind of backtracked on that one. I kind of recovered a little bit there, maybe. Not quite as much as I wanted to, maybe. Okay, cool. So, let's say I want to have this be one more in terms of width here. And then the other wall starts right here. Okay? And there might be some instances where I just skip ahead just for the sake of time and whatnot, but we'll figure things out as they go here. All right. And so this obviously needs to be at least 7 high. You need to have 1 layer buffer between each of the item frames here. So if we grab those item frames just to frame things up, I'll show you what I mean here. So let's say, you know, this room is going to be the same kind of dimensions as down below. It starts right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5, 7. So it's going to be that tall. This room is going to be this tall. And that is the end of that. The chimney is an appropriate height. You see how I'm kind of working through things here? We're kind of figuring things out as they go. So eventually, all these are going to be filled in with the map of the world, whatever the world may be, you know? The toughest part of this by far is going to be the roof. I have no idea how the roof is going to go, but I'm just... Actually, we way overshot this. Oops. Totally overshot it, but that's fine. Well, yeah, that's the appropriate height right there. Okay. That makes a bit more sense. The roof is going to be the biggest challenge. I want to do something unique, but I don't know what exactly that would mean yet. So I'm just going to figure it out as time goes on here. Now, what is the height of the chimney based on... Okay, I'm going way too far here. It starts off right there. Bam. All right, so that's enough of a chimney up top there. You know, this place is kind of coming together pretty nicely, I would say. This wall is going to be completed over here. And I feel like, yeah, if I want to be ritzy and fancy, there's got to be some knowledge being bestowed across here. And I could change up the, you know, the columns here like I have before. I probably will do that just to make things look half decent for right now. What should I do right now? I should probably make the window area, right? So let's make the window area. It's going to be a whole massive area here, basically... Being able to look out into the great void of this, I am going to probably take that apart eventually. And if I were smart, I'd actually have the moon set over there. The sun rises over here. I would have had the window over here so I can see the sunrise, but unfortunately, I'm not very smart. So I don't really care about that anyways. It's actually a massive pain in the butt for me. I really don't like having the sun rising in the window, because that happens when I wake up every morning, the way that my, you know, living at home, the way my room is set up where all the sun appears at like 6 in the morning, wakes me up sometimes, and then, yeah, it's just a pain, you know, just a pain. But I guess it's good. It forces you to get up a little bit early, even if you don't want to, even though I don't want to. So I guess it's kind of a pain, not really. Now, we can have this only 1 high here. That's fine. We can get rid of all this. And that way, we have a nice big open area. Now, if I were smart as well, I would make some sort of logo out of this. And you can have stained glass. I don't know how to do it. So if we go into here, you can see all of these panels down here. You can make them different colors. So if I wanted to, I could do, like, you know, my face in the window panes or something like that. But I feel like that's a bit too on brand, too egotistical for my house. I feel like if I had an actual house, I wouldn't have my branding everywhere. Maybe on like my car, but not like on my house. You know, that's a little different there. So I'm gonna leave that just like that. That actually looks kind of weird. The stained glass looks kind of... Oh, that's white stained glass. Oh, no. I want to go for glass. Just standard glass here. Yeah, there you go. So now you can see the difference between the two. So that's white stained glass and that's clear. So that is a very big difference here. So I'm going to replace all this and I'm going to box out down below, kind of complete this section here. And we'll see what else I can do to make this place look a little more alive. So the fancy thing I want to do, since I made a little staircase right here, now the second floor is kind of complete. It's kind of shaping up right here. The thing I want to do is make a fancy bookshelf like you see in all the movies and all that. So if I have the bookshelf going all right here, and it goes like underneath the stairs, kind of like a cubby sort of a deal, like a reading nook sort of a thing, you know? If it goes all the way through here, maybe. You know, this is a lot of books. This is a lot of resources, a lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff. I don't anticipate anyone reading this much, but you know what? It's just for the sake of having it there. And let's say we have a little break right here. We have a little break right here, so that way, you know, it kind of spices things up. Also, a thing I want to have is like, you know, the ladders that you move side to side to grab the books and you do all that. That's the thing I want to have here. I'm going to make that out of oak. I'm going to have that be right over toward this section here. So that way, you could, in theory, you know, go up here. If you want to grab a book, you can. So I'll leave that there. I'm going to actually repair this one right there. And that looks like a pretty decent looking bookshelf. You know, if the whole living room is right here, that's where I would want it to be. And I also thought about, like, if I made it like a Harry Potter staircase where he's, like, living, you know, when he's living under the staircase, make it some sort of a room, but it's way too small, like it is in actually Harry Potter as well. But that's beside the point. So, I'm going to actually replace these two. Yeah, that looks a bit more uniform, maybe. I don't know. I don't like having the two right there. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that like that. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. I'm not like in love with it, but I'm gonna leave it for right now, especially considering the sides of the wall right here. Yeah, this looks kind of bizarre, so I'll just leave that. Yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually. Over here, like, so part of me wants to make this like, you know, like a home sort of a deal. Part of it wants me to make it like a usable Minecraft area too. So I don't know what I would put else in here. You can make like a living room and a kitchen and do all that, but there's not a lot of function to that in Minecraft. At least we have our map room up here. This is probably where the bedroom is going to be, unless it's like right over toward this way. So if I made an imaginary wall right here for right now and left this open, like the staircase is right there, so let's say the stairs break out right there, or rather let's say that the wall is right here and then the bedroom is like right here, you know, kind of separate the two so I can have like an actual room instead of having something else inside of the room as well. That's probably, you know, that's what most normal people do. They separate the work from the, you know, the sleeping area. That's actually kind of healthy, actually very healthy for you, because if you sleep in the same room that you work in, your body subconsciously doesn't know which it should be doing in that moment. Should it be, you know, sleeping? Should it be working? So if you separate the two areas definitively, you kind of trick your own mind into like, all right, well now I'm going to go into sleep mode now that I'm not actually at my place of work. So if you like sleep at school or something like that, you might subconsciously be tricking yourself into sleeping more frequently. The fun fact for you right there. So, you know, running up the stairs, kind of like you would in a staircase, right? You pop up here, there's the map room. Doorway would be right over here. I don't feel like I need to block it off. I'll maybe have it just be too wide right there. The same wood color would be throughout here, so that would continue all through this way. And I could realistically have a whole nother room as well. And thankfully, fire spreading, it should not be on. Let me just make sure here. Actually, it is on. Okay, because of when I had the Woodland Mansion be on fire. So definitely want to fix that. Want it to not be a thing. I am going to have torches inside of here to light up the entire area. So we'll do that right now. Oh, we did mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yep. It should be all one higher because this is going to be a 5x5 area. Yep. Okay, cool. So I messed up on that one. I forgot. Yep. Why didn't you remind me? You should have been screaming at your TVs and tablets and been like, Brian, you messed up. No. What did you do? What did you do? But yeah, I'll go back and fix this eventually. Pro tip for you, if you just hold down whatever button you're using to destroy stuff and you move around, you're actually going to destroy stuff quicker than if you were just like randomly clicking everywhere, you know, and like rapidly clicking something. So a little fun fact for you. If you just move, so like right there, I'm only holding down one time and then just moving, and it's placing things super quickly. So that is the strategy there. Except if you happen to miss a block or something, it kind of messes up for you. But if you're making massive straight lines like that, that's going to work out pretty well for you. So let's say we have 2 torches right here. We're going to have one right down here. Obviously in the hallway, you want to have a bunch. We're going to put one right there. And then this fireplace should be illuminating the whole area here, but I'm probably going to put like a chandelier or something. That way I can exemplify all the tendencies of the top 1/10 of 1%, considering I have a Ender Dragon head in here eventually as well. So yeah, let me fix my mistake and fill all this in. I'll build that chandelier. Should be a bigger one than what we've done before, but I'll show you that in a second. All right, I fixed all that. So now that's pretty dead even there. I keep looking at this camera. I need to look at that camera. I got to take that down. After this episode, I'm going to take down that old camera so I can just focus over here. All right, so that's dead center right here. That's a pretty good open window area right here. I'm actually going to remove these planks right here because that makes it a bit more of an open area right there. We'll modify that. Boom, there we go. All right, so now this is going to be my room, the main room over here. And I feel like I don't need much else in general, but we're going to still improvise on what I want to do here. So this is where I hope it's going to get a little more interesting in terms of design. So I want to have a massive window. That way I can actually look out onto everything that is over here, because this is obviously the main area that we've been focusing on for quite a while now. I've realized that we've spent a lot of time over by where the old barn was and all that, but we haven't actually gone back over here to take a look at all of the things that were previously here, and the villagers are still inside the snowman. So eventually I want to, you know, light up really everything around this whole village area and make everything super peaceful. That way the villagers don't die to any other forces that may be out there, but we'll see. So right over here, let's say this, I don't want this room to be as big as everything else. Let's say this room is only this high over here, right? Now it goes all the way over here. And again, like the edges I'm probably going to edit afterward, but I'm going to leave this just as it is right here. So let's say we go out toward this way right here. All right, so this is like the height overall. This is like the shape. I want it to have a more of a unique shape, not just be a massive block in the sky, you know? So we'll do this. And now, so I can see everything through here, going to get rid of that pole right there. What all the fancy people do is have massive open windows everywhere, especially in like skyscrapers and whatnot. They actually go from like floor to ceiling, all of the glass panes everywhere. So that's what I'm going to do right over here. Now, typically you only do this for buildings that are super high up or places where you're not going to have too crazy a weather, because you don't want to potentially have like a rock fly through there or something like that. You know, you want to have it in a pretty unattainable spot for someone to come by and mess around with it. So that's kind of what's going to happen here. Now, thankfully, nobody's going to mess with our stuff. And the only thing that could maybe mess with it is if those skeletons down there actually could break the glass with their arrows. But luckily, that is not a thing, even though it kind of should be a thing, I feel like, because why would an arrow not be able to break glass, you know? But that's beside the point. So if that's the roof right there, we can not place that there. We're going to place this all the way through here. And then this is going to be the main, you know, observation deck, control panel sort of area. I'm going to cap this off right here. We don't need to see the stairs over on this side. Yeah, there we go. Have a bit more of a unique shaping for the room itself. And again, still trying to, like, make things look as good as they can. So that's a pretty solid-looking house area here. All right, pop that there. And I'm going to finish off the roof right here, and we can decorate this in a little while. But yeah, let me just finish this off.